let's talk a little bit about what does it take to grow an options account. So three things that I generally think that you need to master if you want to grow your account consistently in the long run. Number one is gain confidence. And this really comes from fundamentally understanding why a strategy works. A lot of traders simply just follow what someone else tells them to do, and they have no idea why they're placing a trade in a specific security, a specific type of option strategy. They're just kind of following what someone else is telling to do, hoping that they'll be able to follow along and make money. And that inevitably never works in the long run because when a person goes through a series of consecutive losses, well, someone who understands the strategy can understand it and trade through it. But if you're on the other side, you're just following someone else blindly. Whenever you have a string of losers, you don't understand why, you don't know whether there's something wrong with it, and you lose faith in that strategy. And what do? You jump to the next one. You jump to the next person who promises you that if you just follow them, you'll be profitable. And inevitably, that cycle keeps going, happening and happening and happening over and over again. And you never ever reach profitability from trading. And if anyone can relate to that, please type one into the chat window if you can relate to that, where if you don't really understand a strategy and you're just following what someone else is telling you to do, you're never quite successful. And what you do is you just go from one service to the next service to the next service, hoping that the next service will make you profitable, but inevitably none of them arguably do. And that really comes down to from fundamentally not understanding what that person's doing, why they're placing specific trades that they are, even if they are profitable as a trader themselves. The second thing that's required to do that is gaining consistency. Now, it might seem obvious, but winning more than 50% of your trades is actually not a requirement to be profitable. You can be profitable while winning less percentage than 50%. You could win 30 to 40% of your trades and still be profitable as long as those 30 to 40% of those trades make more money than the 60, 70% of the trades that you're losing money on. So, however, I do tend to find that, while low probability strategies can still be profitable, a lot of traders have a tough time just psychologically being okay with only winning 30 to 40% of the time, even if they're profitable. It's just mentally much harder. It's mentally much more of a drain to have the majority of your trades be losing trades, even if you're profitable in the long run. So what we're going to talk about today is a credit spread strategy, which is a strategy that naturally on its own, just by trading it itself, will give you more than 50% winners. And what that's going to do is going to help boost your confidence. And then lastly, preventing blowups. Having the rules and discipline to prevent blowups and losing faith in a specific strategy. Most traders that I talk to will at some point in their career have traded something along the lines of, where they get out of a trade and they say to themselves, I lost too much money on that trade. And, you know, whenever you hear that comment that I've lost too much money on a trade, I always go back to the trader and say, it really had nothing to do with who you followed, what indicators you used, what the trading setup was, what the option strategy was. It all came down to how many contracts you traded. Because you can control how much money you lose based on how many contracts you trade. And that's something you decide before you get into a trade. It's not like a trade went horribly wrong and then you lost a lot of money. It's because you traded too many contracts. It's as simple as that. So we're going to go through all of these rules to help you prevent blowups and helping you stop losing faith in a specific strategy and just going from one strategy to the next.